Armando Besne, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing good. So you've been a Honcho owner now for almost a whole year? It was in
I got my honcho in February of this year, so like 2/3 of the year I've been shooting it.
okay, cool. And what configuration are you running it in?
So right now I'm running my honcho in 9 major. I shoot
Okay,
open division in USPSA and then 2x4 open in USSL.
okay. And you shot a match here actually just this weekend, right? Or
Correct.
a
Yeah.
month ago,
So
or
I
not a month
shot the
ago, a week
holiday
ago?
match in Vegas for the USSL League United Multi Gun. I shoot 2x4 open. So I shot my honcho this last weekend, and like always, it performed well. No
Excellent.
issues with it. Yeah, it's been a great pistol.
Cool. That's good. How'd you place there?
So in my division, I placed second, and then
Nice.
seventh overall.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. So okay, so you've had it since February. Um, have you changed out barrels or anything like that? Have you swapped around like different configurations, like going iron sights, or just changed barrels in general, like going to 38 Super Comp?
Yeah, so I've shot it in 38 Super Comp for open as well. I shot a match like that. It was actually an ammo issue. I didn't bring enough match ammo, and I needed to change the caliber of gun, so I changed it to 38. One of my teammates shoots a 38 Super Comp, so that worked out really well. I've also shot it in a 9 minor with the 9 millimeter sight block barrel as well.
Okay.
And then coming up here, I'll be shooting it actually this weekend. For a limited classification, I'll be shooting the 40 barrel.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
first actual match running the 40 barrel.
Yeah, first actual match running the 40 barrel, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay, excellent. So, um, how long you been shooting for?
So I've been shooting USPSA for close to 2 years now. I've been shooting multi-gun for just over a year. Um, yeah, I also shoot USPSA multi-gun, but primarily multi-gun in the USSL League. So I started out shooting PCC. It was a pretty friendly platform to start with, not a lot of equipment required.
Hmm.
So I started shooting PCC. I shot PCC for about a year, and then this last year I jumped into open.
Gotcha. So what was it that drew you to the Honcho? Was it just how you can change the different barrels, especially being in the in the three gun league or in multi-gun area?
Yeah, that was definitely a driving factor for me, not to mention the Phoenix Trinity name. I mean, they're a well-known company throughout, the competitive sport of shooting. And, they make great, pretty much everything, safeties, grips. Um, and so when I heard they were making a pistol, or at least when I was at SHOT Show, was it 2 years ago when you guys introduced it as the prototype? And
Hmm.
I got my hands on it there. I got to see it. And I was intrigued. I was like, this is so cool. And
Gotcha.
naturally, just moving into open, I was shooting an STI prior to purchasing my honcho, and seeing some of the videos of people, talking about it. Tiffany's video about kind of the honcho tech and what it was all about. I thought it was a great design and really cool, easy to change out barrels, and it kind of drove me to it. The price was right. I basically get like 4 guns for the price of one.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so I thought it was a great buy, and so I purchased it, and I love it. I can't say anything bad about it.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. You were one of the first was it 20? I think it was the first 20 orders that were.
Yeah, so
Uh,
when they opened it up to 20, exactly to the 20 orders, I was one of those 20, and all the guys at the shop were envious of it. And then actually, right after I ordered mine, like a day or two later, one of the guys put in an order as well and got his also. So
nice. So saw yours and was like, I gotta get on, gotta
yeah,
get in on
exactly.
this.
Actually, another one of my teammates this past weekend, me watching me shoot my honcho, he's like, yeah, "That's it, I gotta buy one." So he's going to be putting an order, getting in on the Christmas deal, so he can get a couple
Nice.
extra barrels out of that. Yeah,
Yep. That's good. That's good, man.
yeah,
So with 2020 coming around, what's some goals that you got for running that honcho?
yeah. So definitely run it more in 3 gun. My focus in 2020 is really primarily around multi-gun.
Mhm.
USP, the team I shoot for, we run a local USPSA club, so I get my pistol practice there. We run a match 2 or 3 times a month, depending on the number of weekends in the month. Um, but shooting for a company, we primarily focus in competition rifles. We're heavily focused and invested in multi-gun. That's kind of where we can show or spotlight our product and kind of show what we can do. So I'm
Hmm.
focusing heavily in multi-gun this coming year. Right now, I have an expert rating in the UML multi-gun league. I
Nice.
would love to move up to a semi-pro, depending on how I finish this year. So we have, I think, 5 or 6 major matches scheduled for this coming year, not to mention the local matches we have. So yeah, definitely heavily focused on multi-gun.
Okay. Now on the UML side, what's the structure like? Because like with USPSA, there's Grandmaster, Master, A, B, C,
Right.
D. So
So
what's
it
the UML
goes,
side?
yeah, so it goes pro, semi-pro, expert, and then I think it goes sharpshooter, marksman, or marksman, sharpshooter, one of those two, and then
Oh, okay.
unclassified.
Oh,
And
okay.
they vary it based on overall finishes. So, if you finish 190%, you get a pro coin, 90 to 80% semi-pro, and it's an average of how you finish. So, this last year I shot a lot of level 4, which is equivalent to like a level 3 match for USPSA. So
Okay.
high level matches, a lot of people come out. You get the Keith Garcias, the Joe Farewells. Neil shot the last brands, Scott Green. They're all there. So real heavy hitters in the sport all show up to these matches and just kill it. So
Yeah.
it's hard to get your pro card when guys like that show up. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try.
Yeah. Say let's see. I didn't know Nil. Well, I saw Nils do some rifle stuff. I remember seeing a video of Nils shooting like that Kalishnikov match,
Yeah, yeah,
shooting like a full suit. That was actually really
yeah.
cool.
What was that, Red October?
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I think I think someone who ended up winning that was one that was built their own AK, like a $500 AK.
yeah.
It was last year. I can't remember
Yeah,
what year it
Kyle
was.
Litzy won it last year. He's actually one of my teammates. So he
Oh,
shoots
really?
on our team. Yeah, so I shoot with Kyle quite often. He absolutely kills it in multi-gun. So, but yeah, Kyle Litzy won it last year. Yeah, you're right, on basically a $500 home build AK. Just,
Awesome.
and it's funny because in that match, he's shooting steel cased ammo, and in multi-gun, he shoots the cheapest Tula ammo you could buy.
Really?
And yeah, absolutely. The guy is a freak of nature, man. He is really, really good.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know he was one of your teammates. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So he shoots for Titan Ballistics. That's the team I shoot for.
Gotcha. So you used to run an STI, and then you've been running a Honcho. What difference have you like felt or just noticed over time? Because you put a lot of trigger time in, especially having it since February.
Yeah, it's funny because when I had my STI, one of the first upgrades I did on my gun was I put a PT grip on it.
Hmm.
Like, it's just like, all right, get rid of this plastic thing, put something
Yep.
better on there. And that added a lot of weight to the gun, and then it was a matter of kind of balancing the gun and getting that weight where you wanted it, where you can get the gun to cycle as flat as possible, shooting 9 major. So it's interesting because I made my STI, or I tried to make my STI as much like the Honcho, not actually putting my hands on the Honcho like it
Hmm.
is today. They cut a lot off the frame of the gun. It's a pretty light slide, and I noticed that actually was kind of a bad thing to have on a pistol like that. I like the weight of the Honcho. The extra weight keeps it really flat, keeps it a
Hmm.
really flat shooting gun, whether it's 9 or 38, or 40 for that matter. So that was something that I was really seeking, that, I can add all this weight to my STI. I was able to change out the grip, put on a brass mag well, added a different mount to it. I tried to put as much weight as I could into this gun to try to keep it flat. And no matter
Hmm.
what I did, I found myself like always like wishing that there was a little bit of extra weight to the front of the gun, or the window cuts on the slides, it's throwing oil everywhere and the gun gets super dirty.
Yeah.
And that the one thing I noticed in the Honcho is the slide is still light, but it doesn't have those window cuts. There's a style to it. It looks great when you shoot it. But I noticed with the DLC coating and the non-windowed slide, the oil stays on the gun. I don't have those malfunctions because the gun's getting dry, or the wind is blowing and dirt's getting into the gun or anything like that. So those were all really big benefits that I noticed shooting the Honcho over something like an STI.
Gotcha. So basically, yeah, the window cuts look nice and all, but those holes open, it lets the stuff in that you don't want in, and lets the stuff that you want in out. So, like you said,
Yeah,
oil goes everywhere, dirt goes in.
I was constantly wiping down the front of my optic, just getting oil all over it. One of the clubs I shoot at down here in San Diego, the dirt is like a really, really fine clay. So it could be,
Oh,
yeah, it could be the calmest day around, and you still get this red clay all over your pistol, and it's just a
yep.
pain in the butt.
Yeah, I was at I shot irons or not iron sight, but there was open and it was open and limited nationals this year. There was the high cap stuff. I think I still have some like Utah dirt on my holsters or on my bag somewhere. I mean, that stuff just got everywhere. And
Yeah.
I didn't even shoot on during the times when it was really windy. I think by day 3 with the super squads going through, it was just a huge dust storm. I remember Steven Sanders, he's one of the PT guys, was talking about just how crazy the dust storm was. I think they actually had to stop for just a little bit because of all that dust and wind kicking up.
Yeah, I mean, you could do, you know, you can put a cover on your pistol, things like that. But when you're shooting the stage and the wind's blowing like that, you can only do so much. And
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
You're on the clock and you got to go.
yeah. So, but like I said, you know, everything they've done to that pistol, I feel like is with a purpose, and there's a specific purpose that they've done it, and it all works. It's they kind of like figured it out, you know, the kind of the magic formula to make it work.
So you've had yours since February. I've had mine since. You said you got it in February. You ordered it in February.
I think I ordered it in February. I got it in April.
April,
Yeah.
gotcha. So you had it since April, and I've had mine since March, and I've shot. I don't know. I've lost how many rounds I've gone through mine. Do you any clue how many rounds you've gone through on yours?
You know, well over 7,000, 8,000 rounds. I'm probably closer to the 10,000 round mark right now with my pistol. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, but that's good. I'm glad to hear that. That's been running great for you. The one of the hold on a second. I'm coughing. I want to cough in here. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I lost my train of thought. Dang it. But I haven't done a whole lot of. I've done like a little bit of multi-gun here and there, but that was like years ago. It was well before I got in the Honcho. But I know one of the guys on the team, Dylan Easley. He's a big 3-gun guy, and he's been absolutely running the crap out of his. I know one of the options you can get is the shorter comp. So they have a short comp.
Yeah.
They have a single port comp, and they got a 3-port comp. You have any intentions of running like a short comp, or you've been doing pretty good with the 3 comp?
You know, I like running the same gear that I run in USPSA that I do in multi-gun. So some of the guys will actually make, instead of the 165 power factor ammo for USPSA, they'll run like a 150 for multi-gun, just to have a softer shooting. But, I don't really like to change my equipment from sport to sport. It's what I train with and it's what I know. And I know the timing of the gun, the way it is, and the way it's set up. So instead of learning 2 separate configurations, I just kind of keep it as is. And I've had a lot of, like I said, I've had a lot of success with that single port comp. I don't plan on springing the gun for minor and running a comp or anything like that. So right now my division in multi-gun allows me to run an open pistol, and that's what I intend to do, is run my same open pistol that I do in USPSA.
Okay, that's cool. So, but I'm trying to think what else to go over here. I mean, you've been running it for a long time. I've been running mine for quite a while. And, it's good to hear a success story. I mean, this is definitely a success story on, running it for, almost a year now and no problems. And it's been, bringing some good success. So I'm glad to hear that, man.
Yeah. It's been fantastic. No buyer's remorse here at all. It was a great purchase.
That's good. Any plans to get another one at any point?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny PT warranties the hell out of the thing. So if I have any problems with it, it's like, okay, well, if barrel goes bad or something like that, I could shoot my 38 barrel until time comes or whatever I need. But I don't right now plan on buying another one. I'm pretty well invested in everything that I have, at least for my gun and USA for the divisions that I shoot. Plus I promised my wife I wouldn't buy any more guns for a while. So, funny story, actually, in order to get my Honcho, I had to put my wedding anniversary date as the serial number.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, look, it has our wedding anniversary right here on the serial number.
That's funny.
It was funny. So I promised her that I wouldn't buy anything, at least for a little bit. So I didn't put a specific time on that, but I said a little bit. So we'll see.
I mean, the nice thing is, you've got so many different options within one gun. So,
absolutely. I think if anything,
mentality.
Yeah, I think if anything, I'll kind of look in like what the race shop is doing with the different configurations where you can buy just the individual pieces, things like that. Like you said, like the shorty comp barrel, maybe grab one and start experimenting with that, see what I can do. Those are really the things that I'm looking at doing. It's not really, the gun's great. I don't see a need to replace that entire gun with another Honcho. It's just as PT comes out with these things for their race pistols, just slapping it on there and seeing what it does. I was fortunate enough to get the new magwell from Phoenix Trinity on my gun when it was delivered. So
nice.
I've got to run that, quite a bit, and I love that thing, man. Great success. It's like I said before, in the past I was running really heavy magwells just to get some weight on the gun, and this magwell being aluminum functions just as well as those heavy magwells, but I don't need the excess weight. So
yeah, because it's already been distributed throughout the rest of the gun.
Exactly, with that full frame and the barrels and the slides, that added weight really balances the gun out well, where I don't need any rearward weight on the gun.
Gotcha. So good. And the really nice thing is if you start changing into different divisions, the part that you constantly interface with, the grip, the trigger, that's the exact same. That's not changing on you.
Correct. Yeah. So I hope I have, like I said, I'm actually shooting an all classifier match on Sunday, and I've shot maybe 200 rounds through it with a 40 caliber barrel. So it shoots really well, and I like it, and I like the feel of it. So we'll see how it performs this weekend in my all classifier match. I'm just trying to get some classification in, a multitude of shooting styles for USPSA. So we'll see how it does. But
what are you classified in USPSA now?
For open or for just in general?
Just in general.
So I have an open classification, a production, a PCC, carry optics. Those are the ones that I'm holding right now. So limited, Revo, and single stack are the three that I'm really missing.
Gotcha. But did you say you had limited 10 or you didn't?
No, I don't have a limit. I mean, I don't know. No limited 10 at this time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no limited 10 at this time. But if I ever felt like I wanted to blend my production and my limited run, sure, I'll run limited 10. But until that time comes, I have no intention of running limited 10.
Gotcha. That's because you're out of California, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, that seems like that would be kind of the division out there. I'm not.
You would think so, but it's really not.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to run a limited 10, a lot of guys will run like a single stack 9 minor and run it that way, things like that. We had, I don't know if you're familiar with California gun laws, but recently we had what was called Freedom Week, where
I remember that.
Where the Ninth Circuit judge ruled that it was unconstitutional to limit the capacity of magazines outside of the standard capacity from the manufacturer. So it was crazy. It was absolutely nuts how many magazines we sold at our shop. But a lot of guys got on board and purchased, the standard capacity mags to run limited or open. So pretty much everyone out here is running, limited, open, or production. There's very few limited 10 shooters. And if there are, they're looking just to place and get a trophy in a trophy match, because everyone looks at the breakdown of the match. Oh, how many guys are running single stack? Oh, how many guys are running limited 10 just to kind of to get in there. So that's usually when you see those limited 10 shooters.
Yeah. So that was, I can only imagine how many mags actually made it into California, because I remember seeing Magpul, MBX, all the big names that were just flooding, just throwing as much as they could.
It was absolutely crazy. I'm not going to lie. And, working for a firearms manufacturer, we have a storefront as well. And, there was literally a line. We had to start closing the door and regulating the amount of people that were in the showroom, because it was just overflooding the showroom of people trying to get their orders in, get them fulfilled like that. Yeah.
I've got nothing else. Thanks for your time, man. I appreciate you coming on here to talk about your experience with the Honcho.
Absolutely.
The only question I've got is PRG IPSC. What's that on your hat? What's that?
So this is the club we run locally here out of Prado Running Club is the club. We partner with Norco Running Gun Club as well. We shoot out of the same range in Chino Hills. So it's a great range. It was the range I used for the Olympics back in the 80s, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a real cool range. We have 7 bays, and there's a couple of rifle bays and a public side for trap and skeet and whatnot. But PRG runs a match twice a month, 2 Sundays, the first and third Sunday every month. And then we also do, if there's a 5th Sunday, we'll usually run a trophy match on that 5th Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you ever get out to California, South Orange County's gun friendly. Yeah, we run those matches. It's probably a 30-minute drive from Orange County Airport, so not
Oh,
far.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've actually stepped foot in California yet. I've been close. I was in closest I made it was Vegas,
Okay. About another
I'll
4-hour drive, and you would have made it. Yeah.
exactly. So, well, again, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it, and wish you the best of luck. Hope 2020 is a good year for you, man.
Right on, Ben. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye bye.
And bye.